everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Singer's Toolbox. Today I have an interesting one for you. I got some different kinds of pieces ranging from some art songs, some new operas for the collection, some new editions, some purchases from eBay, couple of purchases from a dear friend of mine, and also some tools I want to talk about for the trade. These are going to be some larger videos in the future, but just showing that I'm kind of purchasing some things that I'm going to use for some future videos. I'll explain why. Anyway, if you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe in the bottom here. Join the Discord, ask questions. I love your questions, and let's get into another score haul. All right, everyone. First, I want to start with this awesome purchase I made on eBay for like 10 bucks, right? Why this was only $10? I don't know. I'm going to take it. Sleeper purchase here, but this is the Songs of Chaminade. Schirmer edition, both volume 1 and 2 in one book. Awesome. English on the top, French on the bottom, but really I don't care. I mean, these are great songs. Chaminade, Cécile Chaminade, was considered one of the premier female composers of the, what would it be, the late 1800s, early 1900s. She was the first woman to be given the Legion of Honor in France for her compositions, right? And even Ambroise Thomas, the composer of Mignonne, said, this is not a woman who composes, but a composer who is a woman. Truly a marvelous composer for the time. And just a marvelous composer just generally. If you don't know about her songs, go and listen to them. I'm so happy I found this. All right, guys. Up next, I wanted to talk about a fun score I found online and give you a little tip about finding some scores online, okay? So I don't usually reveal my sources for some of my harder-to-find things, but one of them is this website, abebooks.com. If you've never used it before, there's some things that you can get internationally that are kind of hard to find on this side of the pond, okay? Shipping can kind of be hard sometimes. There are also some sellers, some antiquity sellers who sell through this website. So if you don't mind your scores being a little bit older, especially if you're using them for reference or if you're just going to scan them to use as a reference score, yeah, this is a good place to go. So, story time. I have a friend who runs a small company, and they were doing this show, and they were asking if I had a copy of this show. Now, I don't have everything. I have a lot of things. I don't have everything. But I took this as a personal challenge because I have a lot of these scores. The composer is Massenet. I have a lot of Massenet scores, but this one was interesting because it was a reduction of one of his other operas into like a one-act form. The opera I'm talking about here is Le Portrait de Manon. Don't even know if I'm saying that right. Don't quote me. My French is awful. But this is Massenet took Manon and like distilled it down to one act. I know I did research on this at one point to like find out why he did this, but I took this on as a challenge because I didn't own this, and I found it, and it actually really wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. So, Le Portrait de Manon, and I hope I get to do this one day. This is pretty cool. So, check it out on abebooks.com. There might be another copy somewhere, but it's a great website to go to if you're looking for resources. So these next three are a purchase that I made from a dear friend of mine, Dmitry Glivinskiy, down in Brooklyn. If you don't know Dmitry, get to know him. He's an incredible pianist. He's recording tracks right now for singers and really doing the work right now for people who are in need. But I made a couple of purchases from him recently. He was getting rid of some scores. So some of these things I already had. I just wanted to get the right edition for it, which again, I'm going to do a video on editions hopefully this coming month. Because that's going to be a project. But I really wanted to get myself a proper copy of Tristan und Isolde. So happy I found this, because I had the Schirmer, and the Schirmer is good for, you know, if you just need something. But wanted to get the proper edition. Got the proper edition. Thank you, Dima. Really appreciate it. Next up, so these three that I'm showing you are from Dima's collection. This next one is a Offenbach operetta. I think, oh, what's the French title of this? Because this is the German edition. This is Fortunio's lead. Oh, yeah, La Chanson de Fortunio. Um, these editions are kind of interesting, and they're also really helpful, the Boda and Bach editions. Not necessarily where you want to go if you truly need the French edition of Offenbach operettas, but definitely serviceable. There is German on the top, French on the bottom, especially if you just need like the aria out of it. These guys are really, really useful. Definitely enjoy me some good Offenbach operettas. I'm always on the lookout. I have my collection is slowly growing of the Offenbach operettas, but I'm so happy to get my hands on this one. Last one up here is Manuel de Falla. Again, my Spanish is not perfect, don't quote me, but this is La Vita Breve, and I love collecting Spanish works. They're so hard to find. It's kind of a personal challenge. But this show in particular, I have heard excerpts of this show and have always wanted to be a part of it. I'm not even sure if there's a part in this for me. But I also found this interesting that this was produced by Max Essig. I would have never thought that there would be like a German publisher putting out a Spanish work. Now, granted, this is a little frustrating to read because this is French on the top and Spanish on the bottom, but honestly, I mean, these things are hard enough to come by as they are. Like, I'm not going to complain. So cool to finally have this. I don't even know how you got this, Dima, but this is really cool. So this is that section for Dmitry Glivinskiy. Check him out, guys. He's awesome. I'll get his socials and put them in the bottom here for you so that you can check out his social media. But again, thanks, Dima. This is awesome. Love these scores. All right, guys. This next purchase is a little bit more of a toolbox purchase. I'm always on the lookout for good editions of songs that I can use on those random gigs. Like when you see a listing on Facebook or someone contacts you and they're like, hey, do you have a good, Irish song or a great American songbook song or whatever, That's not necessarily in the opera or musical theater literature, right? So where do you find these songs? I'm going to do a whole crossing over episode on where to find this kind of music, like the traditional and the folk and the pop and all that. I have videos planned on that stuff. But this was a purchase for that in particular. This is the Irish Pub Songs book put out by Hal Leonard. Now, the keys might not be perfect on this for everybody. Usually I just transpose them. When you do Irish pub work, I don't know about you guys, but I have a really great one here in Queens called Banter. Unfortunately, they're not doing live music right now, but when things open up again, they usually have it on, I think, like Tuesday nights and Saturday nights or something. Really fun to go to, and that guitarist is incredible, like, knows everything. Just, he's like, what key do you do it in? And he puts the capo on and does it. But this book in particular has some really great stuff, ballads and some faster, jigs and whatnot. Good to look into. I really enjoy singing this stuff, just, having a couple of beers and then going up there and singing with the guy. So, drink responsibly, A. B, this is a great book. Look them up. There's the Irish Pub Songs, and then, I'm going to do this live on here, but this one's already in my collection. This is really one of the books you want. The Grand Irish Songbook has, like, all of the ballads you could possibly need as a classical singer. One of my favorites right now is Carrickfergus and the Mountains of Mourne. But this one's not, I didn't just buy this. This is just in my collection and I could reach for it. But between this and the Irish Pub book, you basically have everything that you need. So I have a bunch of other rando collections just because, you pick them up along the way. But this definitely is a great toolbox purchase. But this I just purchased recently because it had a couple of things that were not in this book. And I found this really cheap. So I thought, this is a great collection piece. But anyway, all right, guys. So this last one here is a special purchase, okay? Sometimes when you're doing pieces, especially like mixed media pieces, you have to get some different books that go along, research or whatever, to help you do the performance. So in this case, I did a little bit of research, and my dear friend Oliver over in Scotland helped me do this. Oliver's a character. I'm going to have him on the channel eventually. Hopefully when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to do this interview with him, and it's been a long time in coming, like almost a year at this point. So, but more on that later. The book that I have here is a part of the Britten Canticle number 3. If you don't know the canticles, they're these incredible pieces of chamber music. Britten wrote them mostly for Peter Pears. There are other voice combinations, other instrument combinations, French horn and harp and things like that, right? But this one in particular, Canticle 3, Still Falls the Rain, uses the poetry of Edith Sitwell, right? Now, after the premiere that Edith Sitwell came to, they had a conversation about doing a larger work where Edith would show some of her poetry during the performance, and Britten also got the permission to set 3 other songs. So this huge event was called The Heart of the Matter, right? And in order to do a full performance of The Heart of the Matter, you can't just have the music. You also have to have these additional poems, right? So there are a couple of pieces you have to get in order to like really reassemble this, right? Also, it took me a while to find a program from the original performance. Oliver ended up finding one for me that had all of the readings listed out. And then in the Boozy and Hawks edition of the 3 additional songs that Britten wrote, it says like which book you should buy if you want to find the readings for The Heart of the Matter. So it took a whole lot of digging around. Long story short, I finally found this book, Edith Sitwell's collected poems. Now, in order to do, like I said, this Heart of the Matter performance, which will hopefully be a huge project that I do in a couple of years, I had to get this book in order to get all of the poems. I think there's 1 or 2 that aren't even in this book. I might have to hunt down somewhere else. But, again, this is kind of a toolbox purchase. Sometimes you have to, with mixed media, find some outlying things in order to do a performance, right? And this is one of them. I can't wait to like take the poetry out and see what it's like to do the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to read the poetry or if I might get some people to do it with me, but hopefully I will do that. Not just the Canticle 3, Still Falls the Rain, but also the larger event, The Heart of the Matter. All right, guys, so just some final thoughts on this score haul in general. I hope you're enjoying the content I'm bringing to you. I really enjoy trying to mix it up a little bit and not have it all just be opera scores, as much as I love the opera scores. But just to show you guys my thought process behind a couple of things, I can't wait to do this whole video going into St. Patrick's Day on the different kinds of sources you can use for Irish music. I have a ton of it here. I love doing that kind of stuff. I missed the ball a little bit on doing, I had an episode I wanted to do on the Great American Songbook. I might save that for April, because April's technically Jazz Appreciation Month, so maybe I'll do something on that and get some other jazz cats in on the mix, maybe do an interview or something. I also really appreciate all the stuff that I got from Dmitry Glivinskiy. Guys, go and hire Dima. He's great. I'll link to his social media below. And I hope you guys had a good time. I really love finding these random things, especially, you know, for this big performance of Canticle 3 that I'm going to hopefully do, you know, doing the mixed media, making it a little bit more like theater. But everyone, don't forget to subscribe and like in the bottom here. Trying to hit that 100 subscribers. First interview I'm going to have up is with my dear friend Oliver in Scotland to talk some Britain and the legacy of his father. Just a little tease for you guys there. We'll talk about that more in the future. But enjoy, everybody, and I will see you next time on The Singer's Toolbox.